One of the things that we did as AHA, and I just became the chair in November, but we were looking at the Poverty Collaborative's work and admiring their work, but there was no mention of housing. And to us and the Affordable Housing Advocates, which is it's about 35 groups, just a coalition of about 35 groups, all connected in one way or another with housing. Some are developers, and some are agencies and doing all kinds of things, and individuals as well. But and then with Liz, we each sent a letter into the Poverty Collaborative people, to Liz Marmer, and just said, we think stable housing is one of the keys to getting out of poverty. And they put both letters in their report. They're evidently considering it as they're finalizing their stuff. So we're really glad that they were open to that, because we do think it's key. So for me, that first thing is going to be affordable housing, and I probably should have grabbed some copies. Liz and CBI, the Community Building Institute from Xavier, just put out a report that says for affordable housing, and it's affordable to different levels. There's 80% of area median income, and then 60, and then 30. But there's a shortfall of 40,000 affordable housing units. So what that means, and all the people who are eligible for instance, CMHA, only about 20% of those will ever get CMHA housing, just because there's not enough. It just doesn't work out that way. Which means that all these other families, who are poor families, are probably spending 50 to 60% of their income on housing. And that means you're choosing between food for your kids and medicine for your kids, and you're not choosing anything for yourself. So that's the big issue for most of us. And then really, with the CDCs around the city, it's just housing product. So it's affordable housing is an issue, workforce housing is an issue, but just having a variety of choices in every neighborhood for different, because if I want, my desire is a mixed income, mixed use, mixed up neighborhood with all kinds of people in a given neighborhood. And you've just got to have the housing for it. You've got to have housing for millennials, you've got to have, and we just, because we haven't built it so long, and so the CDCs are trying to keep up with that, and then of course there's just not enough money, and now we've got a Department of HUD in Washington that probably isn't going to supply any, so we're all busy thinking of the most creative ways we can to get that stuff financed. And what we ask, and we're looking at all kinds of investors, but we're asking investors to think about being a little more patient with their capital, and maybe taking a little smaller return. They're still going to have a return, and they'll still get it all back with, with interest, but not quite maybe at the level that. So they may have to put a little community thinking into their things. But I remember, and I think some of us in the room, I remember when corporations did not think their only group to watch out for was stockholders. They thought the community was, they thought their employees were, and this was 70s. We need to go back to that before we destroy ourselves. Hey, Susan. My wonderful adopted daughter, Susan Brown. I'm glad. Thank you, girl. At any rate, so all those things get all tangled up. Those are my two big ones: the community development industry, which is really an industry now, and there are people with so many skills, and they're still not being paid at the level they would if they were in private industry, but they can hang with that. And then knowing Cam Hardy and being so tickled to have such an advocate for transportation out there, he just puts it right in everybody's face, as he should. I loved it the other day. He was on a bus that broke down. The bus is late. He's just going to tell us every day. Because how are we going to get people to jobs? First off, we need to deal with the fact that 70s, 80s, 90s, a lot of companies moved out to Middletown, Westchester, whatever. And we know whatever their reasoning, we know that resulted in the loss of jobs for Black people in the inner city, and they had no way to get there. So it was racist in the outcome, it wasn't racist in its intent. And we need now to find a lot of ways to fix that. One is to have buses go where people's jobs are. Those are probably my big issues. Because I think there are people who can qualify for jobs. We can teach people about jobs. In Walnut Hills, for instance, with the CDC over there, they've been hiring